Hey friends, it's Natana. Welcome to Barre Blend Meal Prepping. I am getting my meal prepping in. It's technically Sunday the 16th on this day, and I pulled out all my goodies that I knew that I would need to meal prep so that way I could take you guys along with me. Starting off the meal prep strong, we are going to start with our Shakeology. I put my water on boil and I'm waiting for it to heat up because I'm a basic Betty and I like to make my Shakeology super simple. Water, Shakeology, that's it. I don't like to add anything extra to my Shakeology. It's perfect the way it is. This is my vegan cookies and cream. This is actually my first time ever getting vegan cookies and cream, and it's not my favorite. My favorite is vegan chocolate or regular chocolate. I'm just lactose intolerant, so vegan chocolate is always second best. It's great. It's amazing. The cookies and cream is good too. It's just not as amazing as the freaking just basic chocolate. I don't know what it is about Shakeology chocolate, but it is just some of the best tasting chocolate superfood shakes I've ever had in my life. If you don't know, Shakeology is not just a protein shake because there is protein in it, but it's actually a superfood shake. So there is so much dense nutrition in your Shakeology. It is just a mood booster, a bathroom booster, not in a bad way, and also a emotional booster. It always helps me have a emotional release. And that is very healthy when you are a person that you don't like to feel all your feelings all the time. So get your workout in, get your shake in, and bam, you're going to be okay. So I am starting off with sushi rice. I am making my rice for the sushi bowls that I'm making this week. And I is such a silly willy. I ended up using warm water to rinse out my sushi rice, and you were supposed to use cold water. So unfortunately, my sushi rice is just a little bit more sticky than I would like it to be, but it still worked out just fine for me. So you're going to see me washing out my rice like 8 times because I really like the rice water to be as clean as possible for best tasting rice possible. I'm sure it seems like overkill to other people, but hey, that's not you. It's me. You're not the one eating it. I am. No judgment here on whatever you do for your rice. I don't care. I'm just doing what I want to do. Okay, so let you cook in your kitchen and I'll cook in my kitchen, right? So this is when I realized that I didn't use the cold water, so I'm going back through with cold water, hoping and praying that I could save this sushi rice, and I sure didn't, though I gave it a good effort here, as you could see me going through 5 more times trying to wash this sushi rice out with cold water. Excuse me. So I'm just getting this one more time over, like I said, with that cold water in hopes to save this sushi rice. But here I am, filling it up with cold water so that way I could put it in the Instant Pot and make my sushi rice in like 5 minutes. It's only 1 cup of rice to half of a cup of water, and there's my 5 minutes on high, right? So now I am making my my liquids for my sushi rice, and it is rice vinegar, salt, and sugar. And I'm actually going to end up putting mine in the microwave because I was trying to melt my salt granules when really I needed to break down my salt granules because they're technically big salt pieces that are supposed to be in a grinder. And this is little Black Moon Lilith coming on over helping Mom cook in the kitchen because, fish, right? That's the first thing she goes for, fish. She was like, "Where's the fish, Mom? Are you going to feed me fish?" So she's not getting any fish, at least not right now, okay? And I was texting somebody while I'm meal prepping, and I'm also listening to the book of the week for my body group. And the book of the week for Team I Am Ascension is Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. It is a free audiobook on YouTube. It's about 5 hours long or so. And I got a lot of the book knocked out during my cooking time. You can't tell because I sped up the process, but I probably was cooking for about 90 minutes. Not super long, but long enough. A little too long in my opinion. But you know, that's how it is on meal prep days. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're busy, you're recording. I don't know. It's just a lot. So I'm prepping the salmon now. I have my oven set to 410 degrees or 415, I think 410 degrees. And I left my salmon in for 15 minutes covered because I knew that I was going to be tossing my salmon in the microwave throughout the week. I guess I could put my salmon in my air fryer, which is probably better for me, obviously, because it's not a microwave. But I kept my salmon basic, no oil, and because it has its own fats, right? I kept the skin on. I just did I just did lime, salt, and pepper. That's it. I like my salmon very basic. I like it slightly undercooked because I know I'm going to recook it throughout the week to heat it up, and I don't want it to be rubbery. So I put it in just for 15 minutes at 410. Now I'm setting the alarm on my phone, and I cut out all the transitions for you guys. So now I'm working on my overnight oats, and I am doing blueberry overnight oats. This is one of the most basic overnight oats recipes you can do. Pick a berry that you like the most. I just always get the frozen black blueberries because they're the cheapest, but my favorite is actually doing strawberries, fresh strawberries, not frozen, fresh. And I like doing them with peanut butter, and you could put some cinnamon in there if you like with your oatmeal, and you could use some type of a milk or a milk alternative. But this is Natana's basic cheap overnight oat recipe. So I do a half of a cup. I'm using my container cups, my Beachbody portion container cups, and the yellow is my carb cups. I'm allowed to have 3 of those container cups a day. So I am portioning out my sizes so that way I know I'm getting a proper serving size. So I do oatmeal, water, cinnamon, and blueberries, as you see. So I'm putting in the cinnamon, and 2 shakes of cinnamon is just never enough, you know? So I'm just going to go back around and add 1 more shake into each of those bags. And I'm just going to eyeball the water, but I'll tell you an easy solution to that is literally to use the same container cup that you put in with your oatmeal. So if you don't want that much water or liquid, you could use a little less, obviously. I'm just eyeballing mine and shaking mine all around. So I'm kind of mixing up the cinnamon before I pour in the water. So that way it's a little bit more even. And I'm very particular about the texture of my overnight oats. So I like to kind of eyeball it because I feel like using equal amounts of water to oatmeal is just a little bit too mushy for me personally, because the frozen berries that I use actually soften up over time in the fridge. So, you know, you just don't want it to be super liquidy, right? And also, I don't like using frozen strawberries because I don't like the texture of the strawberries when they're unfrozen and just yucky. I don't like that. So that's why I like fresh strawberries when I'm doing that. And also, strawberries have a lot of sugar in them compared to all the other berries, but they're just so freaking yummy. But yeah, this is my basic overnight oats is water, oatmeal, cinnamon, and you pick your berry, right? And that's it. It's so good. It's so easy. It's portable. You don't have to keep it refrigerated all day long if you're going to be out at an event. So now I am making I'm making protein bites, oatmeal bites. So I used half of a cup of oatmeal, I think, or a whole cup. I can't remember how much it was, but this, you know, I'm not going to be eating all these protein bites in like 1 week. Like this is probably going to be like 2 weeks of protein bites. So I'm kind of just eyeballing everything, being pretty inappropriate here with with my recipe. I'm doing peanut butter, protein Shakeology powder, cookies and cream, And that actually, what you see is a blueberry simple syrup that I made by hand. So it's just sugar, water, and blueberries boiled down. And I didn't realize when I had poured my simple syrup into my bottle that I had ended up with blueberry in there and didn't know. And that blueberries actually ended up exploding on me because it kind of fermented. So I went, I cut it out and I went and got my brown sugar simple syrup because I don't have agave, I don't have honey, I don't have maple syrup. So this was my next best thing that I could grab, and I'm doing a little taste test. They're super yummy. If you have like chocolate chips or something, I'm not saying this is a healthy recipe, this one, okay? But you're eating some protein in there and it's a sweet. You could always sub out for like banana, avocado, what else? I would probably use applesauce sometimes, just whatever you can get to give it a little bit of texture to hold together, right? Is what you want to do. So I'm going to roll those later off camera. So I just covered them up and put them away. But I just do my best to kind of keep things as simple as possible. Not saying that that recipe is healthy, just saying that that's a sweet with some protein in it and my Shakeology. So I'm moving on to my carrots and my cucumber for my sushi bowl. I bought this vegetable cutter and it's okay. Like, it's not my favorite. You know, I would recommend definitely never buying a cheap veggie chopper, cutter, whatever, and buy all of the veggie chopping gadgets because it just saves you so much time, energy, and effort. Like, do I want to sit there and like slice up all my carrots and cucumbers and everything by hand all the time? I definitely don't. I'm so thankful that I bought this because in October of 2022, I did a whole month of this McDougall food intake plan. And I didn't know what it was until I stumbled upon this thing called like a Mary's Mini. And a Mary's Mini is a 10-day food challenge from Dr. McDougall and his wife, Mary. And the McDougall food plan is a whole food, plant-based, no processed oil or no oil meal plan. And Mary's Minis is 10 days of this meal plan, but like to the extreme. So it helps you with emotional eating. It helps you with cravings. It helps you, you know, just really like hone into dropping off like almost like 10 pounds in 10 days. It's crazy. But all it is the whole food, plant-based, no animal byproduct, no processed oil. And I have heart issues in my family. And something that is the worst for heart issues is, I'm on the phone, guys, is processed oil. Literally, processed oil takes 3 to 6 months to process out of your body, and meat only takes like 12 hours to process out of your body. And when you have heart issues, and oil is bad for your heart, because think of a processed oil as strong as a essential oil. Essential oils are extremely potent, and that is just as potent of oil, but just fat. Even if it's good fats, they're processed. It's not good for you. So anyways, I ended up losing 20 pounds in how many days? 20 pounds in a month of doing my 10 days of Mary's Mini, and then the rest of the month I did my whole food plant-based, and of course I had with no processed oil, and of course I had some cheat days here and there because, you know, your girl, she's an emotional eater. I've been struggling with emotional eating forever, and it's taken me a long time just to get where I'm at now, which I'm so very proud of myself. I never used to be the type of person that would eat vegetables for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, that was never really the priority. And to really just take into consideration the things that I know now that I didn't know then about my family's health history, and my emotional eating issues, you know, I'm so proud of myself. I have come so far. Anyways, getting back to this vegetable cutter here. Buy a really good one. Don't fuck around and find out. Just take my advice. Take Auntie Tana's advice and go buy yourself a good quality, good reviewed veggie chopper type of thing, because it matters and it saves you so much time. So yeah, I was, the McDougall diet's really cool because most diets are going to tell you, by diets, I mean food intake plans, most food plans are going to tell you, avoid carbs. This is a food plan where I get to freaking eat carbs. And that was one of the first things that I gave up in my life when I was trying to lose weight at my biggest weight at 215 pounds in like 2010 was carbs. It was like potatoes and cereal, and I stuck with the cereal forever, and potatoes I came in and out with. But how satisfying is it for me years later to be able to eat a crap ton of starch and just drop weight like that? It's amazing. And especially for women who are in their 30s, changing hormone cycles or older, a whole food plant-based diet is one of the best diets, dyslexia, food intake plans that are for our hormones. Honestly, it's amazing. So it's like a 50-50 plate where you're eating, guys, I'm all over the place, but it's okay. Where you eat half your food of starch, your plate is half starch and the other half is veggies. And before you get to that plate that has the starch and the veggies, they want you to have a soup and or a salad with lots of greens, eat the rainbow, be mindful of your own personal needs, of course. Some of us need to avoid nightshades because we're doing an anti-inflammatory thing. Some of us need to avoid gaseous vegetables because we have spleen issues. Just really cater to what you need and then work within those parameters, right? So it was amazing to me that just avoiding processed foods and processed foods and oils, which are processed, helped my body really just let go, and my mental health became so much greater as well. My laptop is about to die here. Let me try and save this while I'm recording it. Here we go. It really supported my spiritual body, it felt like. And so I just kind of like fell in love. So now I kind of do like an 80-20 because I'm still working on that emotional eating and being consistent and, policing myself. Policing is such a hard word. Mothering myself through it. And now that I'm doing my Barre blend program, I'm doing my best to be mindful. Of course, I'm eating meat in this program right here, right? Because I'm doing an 80-20. I feel like I want some meat. I feel like I need some meat. So I'm giving myself some anti-inflammatory meat. And some of the best anti-inflammatory meat out there is salmon and tuna. So, just go with the flow and do what works best for you. But I would highly encourage you to try out things and see what does work for you, right? Like doing my meal prepping works for me. Doing my container cups work for me. Doing my whole food plant-based, no processed oil works for me. But I definitely allow myself the flexibility and freedom to color outside of the lines of that, right? Not every day is the same day. Not every week is the same week. And I just do my best to give my body what I need and what I want at the same time. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate your support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that way more people can find me and I could find them, and we could build a tribe of like-minded people who are into taking care of their body, mind, and spirit. How do you show up for you? All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.